Welcome back. Your quote for the week is from shewins.co. This is just someone on Instagram. Stop treating movement like a phase. Let it become a part of life, as ordinary as eating or sleeping. That's when the pressure lifts because you're no longer trying to get somewhere. You're just living well day after day. I love this because it's something that I always speak about. Like, there's no end date, there's no completed for your health and for your fitness. The gym just needs to be, or home workouts just need to be part of who you are and what you do. Just like brushing your teeth, washing your hair, cooking the tea, like it's just a basic form of self-care. And I think a lot of people put like, oh, I'm going to the gym for my holiday, I'm going to the gym to the lead up to the wedding, or there's like always this expiry, there's always this end date to your efforts, and we need to remember that this is something that you do forever. Like, I know for a fact, or I'm going to be lifting weights, I'm going to be doing, going to the gym for as long as I possibly can. I want to be that old lady in the gym that everyone's like, wow, it's not an option for me to not be active. I know I'm a better person when I'm active. I know I'm healthier when I'm active, and it's just not an option for me to let myself off with that. Just like it's not an option for me to not brush my teeth. It's not an option for me to not like get showered, and it's just basic self-care. And that's how it should be for everybody. It shouldn't even be an option to be sedentary and to do nothing and to not be active. Like, humans are not happy unless they are exercised regularly. And I don't care what anyone says. People might say that they're happy and they're inactive and they're fine being that way, but I know for a fact that that's not true, because energy-wise, they don't even know what they're missing. Mood-wise, the endorphins, the dopamine, they don't know what they're missing. And I know it can't feel good to feel weak. It can't feel good to get out of breath while you're running up the stairs. It can't feel good to not be able to run after your kids. Like, there's a lot in life that unhealthy people go through that maybe they think is okay, but I know that that wouldn't feel good for majority of us who are training regularly. So I just want to encourage you all to never let this go. It should not be an option to not train. This is something that your body needs. It will always need it. It will always need activity. So keep going. And don't put an end date on it and just expect that this is what we're going to do. I think everything in life feels easier when you have that acceptance. Like, I think I've spoke about this on the podcast before, but I went through a phase of when I first moved out with Fran where I was like, here we go again. I've got to cook again. And I really fell out of love with cooking after really enjoying it before that. It's like, oh, I've got to cook. When will this end? Basically, like, when will this ever be over? When will someone take this responsibility off me? Realistically, I'm an adult. No one is ever going to take that responsibility off me. Like, I have to feed myself. I need to make sure that I'm nourished, and so I've just got to suck it up and do it anyway. And if you need that mindset to get to the gym, then do it. Eventually it will become something you love, and it will become something you crave. And know that, because I used to hate it myself, and now I just couldn't be without it. I wouldn't be a very nice person, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't want to be around me if I didn't go to the gym regularly. Okay, so let's go through some wins. These wins are amazing. The first is Becca. Now, Becca's a member of Lift and Glow Gym. She said she's felt more comfortable in her skin for the first time in about 3 years. Amazing. Huge win. And she's absolutely loving and thriving at the gym. She said she's just feeling generally better and looking forward to wearing holiday clothes, which is a shock for her. I absolutely love that. Like, lifting weights, being active, moving your body, it changes how you show up. It changes your life. And I know that's like cheesy. I know that's big, but it does. Ellie said she's seen the scales without dropping. Her win is seeing the scales drop without tracking her calories. She's been using her initiative. So she's been building trust around food. She knows after spending time tracking that she understands how to build a meal. She understands how to fuel herself, and just moving away from tracking doesn't mean she needs to start overeating and start slipping back into old habits. She's maintaining those healthy habits that she's learned, and she's seeing a drop in the scales even without tracking. That's amazing. Final win that I'm going to share is from Beth. So Beth said she's ignored the weight on the scales and she's felt much better in herself and even wore shorts out on Saturday with a crop top, unheard of in the last 10 years for me. Again, Lifting weights, having healthier eating habits, having healthier lifestyle habits like your sleep, your steps, it transforms your confidence. And the scales might be frustrating, they might not drop drastically all the time, but we don't care about that. That does not matter. Your body changes drastically when you take care of your health. You have less bloating, less stomach discomfort, you will lose fat, you will build muscle, you will experience body recomposition. The scales don't show you everything. And I really, really would urge, if the scales are frustrating, I would urge you to leave them alone for a while. Focus on doing the basics, focus on doing the habits that we're setting you, focus on doing the training that I'm setting you, and then see how you feel. Go by your clothes, go by how you feel. The scales a lot of the time can be a hindrance. Okay, now let's go through. I think I've just highlighted 2 of the struggles because I've got quite a lot of questions to go through. So, I'm still getting used to the challenges that being at the gym brings compared to at home. So this is an online member and she's moved from home workouts to gym workouts. So she's in a normal gym. Just things like waiting for a machine to be free as opposed to having everything right there and ready to crack on at home. But I recognise the benefits of the gym and will outweigh these little niggles in the long run. Okay, so this is when you're in a big gym and you go at busy periods of time, you might find yourself waiting for equipment here and there. What I would say that you can do is change the order of the workout if you want. I don't love when we do that because I would prefer it to be done in the order that I've given you, because the way that I've laid the workout out is so that you do the hardest weight exercises at the start. They're going to take the most amount of focus and energy from you, and then we move to less complex exercises throughout the end. So I wouldn't love it if you do your cable tricep extensions before your leg press, for example, but if you need to do a little bit of shuffling around, that's absolutely fine. I also would say to you, like, it's okay to share a machine with someone. So if you can see a woman on the lat pull down, for example, you could maybe say to her, do you mind if I work while you rest? That's a really easy machine to change the weight on. And, you know, it's a way to meet people in the gym. When you go to cities, like if you went somewhere like Manchester, even maybe town, but definitely in London, everyone shares equipment and it's not a problem. And I don't really... It's different, our culture's different because we're not all on top of one another, but it's okay to share. Like, it's absolutely fine to share. It's also fine to say to someone, how many sets have you got left? I'm just gonna go on that after you if you don't mind, and you to hang around. Like, it is one of those annoying things. I definitely dealt with it a lot myself when I was in city centre gyms, and then when I was training in gyms locally to me before we moved to a bigger Lift and Glow. So I totally do relate to this, and it can feel a little bit frustrating. The workouts aren't mega long. No one is on a machine for more than 10 minutes. And so I think, you know, you just have to bear with it. Maybe do other exercises first if you need to. But yeah, this is one of them annoying things. But I would say, if it's someone you feel comfortable asking, see if you can share with them. You work while they rest. That's exactly what we do in Lift and Glow. Like, everyone doesn't have their own barbell. You don't have your own cable machine. You go, I go with someone. It's fine to do that in a normal gym as well. Some days my body confidence has been at a low. I wanted to read this out because it's so unrealistic for anybody to expect to feel confident in their skin every single day. This week, quite a few people have said to me, oh, hey, you look nice, you've got makeup on. And I'm like, yeah, because I feel like an ugly bitch. Like, I am having one of those ugly weeks, and that's okay. Like, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to get frustrated about it. I'm not going to hate myself about it. I'm just like, girl, you're having one of them ugly weeks, slap a bit of makeup on, make yourself feel better, and crack on. And that's it. Like, maybe I'll wear a baggy jumper if I'm feeling like a bit body conscious. Like, I think a lot of the time in the gym, particularly our members, or maybe members online, our members think that, you know, because the coaches are working hard and are working on their habits, that we don't struggle with the same things as you. We all have days where we don't feel that confident, and a coach might wear a baggy jumper or a baggy t-shirt, or they might wear the black leggings. Like, there's days where you feel hot, and there's days where you feel like a bag of shite. And I think that's like everybody. I think I still love myself and I still care for myself on the days that I feel shit. And I know that it's just a phase, and that, like, your body your body image, your body confidence does fluctuate. I don't feel 10 out of 10 every single day. I don't feel 10 out of 10 most days, but I carry on and just crack on doing what I need to do. I don't let it impact my mood too much because I know it fluctuates and I know it's just normal. And therefore, I don't let it impact my behaviours and my decision making. If I'm feeling sorry for myself, it would be easy for me to nail chocolate, nail a chippy because I feel sorry for myself. But it's like, get a grip, girl. How's eating chocolate and getting a chippy going to help you feel better? Like, it's not. And I'm not saying you did this. You didn't fall into a self-sabotaging trap. You definitely didn't. But a lot of people can, and I used to. I just wanted to read this out so that you know that this is normal. Like, it's completely normal. Every single woman has their days where they don't feel great, and that's life. And I think just roll with them and be like, okay, not feeling hot today. I'm going to wear my baggy pants. I'm going to wear my baggy t-shirt. I'm going to slap a bit of makeup on. Maybe I'll give myself a blow dry. Like I even said the other week, might have even been last week, I was feeling shit. I was due on. And I gave myself a blow dry before recording this. I had nowhere to go, but I was like, I just want to feel a little bit better. So like, you're not meant to, it's okay if you don't feel confident every single day of your life. You are doing your best and you are still showing up for yourself, and it's just part of life. And so adjust to how you're feeling. You don't need to wear the skimpiest clothes, or that, if you planned an outfit for Friday, but you're feeling a little bit bloated on Friday because you're due on Saturday, wear a different fucking outfit. Don't squeeze yourself into the one and not feel comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like, adapt and change and do what you need to do to make yourself feel better on those down days. Everybody gets them. Our coaches get them. I get them. Men get it. Everyone gets it. Okay. And oftentimes you can associate the low body confidence days with mood. So if you've had something happen in life and you're feeling low in mood, poor sleep. If we have poor sleep, sometimes we can feel less confident. We can have like a different perception of ourselves. If we're due on, we definitely have a different perception of ourselves. When we have that drop in hormones, it can all feel challenging. Ovulation, another time where we do actually experience more bloating, more inflammation in the tummy. So maybe you want to wear something different. So yeah, I think that this is okay that you didn't feel confident every single day last week. No one is expecting you to, and don't expect yourself to either. Just adapt to how you feel each day. Dress for how you feel. Do your makeup on the days that you feel like you need it. Like, it's fine. You're not a robot. I find myself saying this a lot. You're not a fucking robot. No one listening to this is a fucking robot, and no one needs to be a fucking robot. You're a real life human with fluctuating mood, fluctuating energy, fluctuating hormones, fluctuating body confidence, and that's okay. Okay, too much snacking. I had a super busy week and the old bad habits crept back in, where I was tired and relied too much on fast crap food rather than sticking to my meal plan. Did you foresee the busy week? Okay, so there's a few ways we can look at this. Sometimes when you look at your calendar on a Sunday or a Monday, you can be like, shit, I've got a busy week ahead. Okay, so for example, me, I'm looking at my week ahead like I do every week. I've got a busy week ahead. Okay, I need to be prepared. I need to make sure that I know where my meals are coming from. So this morning when I woke up, I was like, I know I need to go to Sainsbury's, I need to buy a yogurt, and I need to buy fruit because I've got to have my breakfast at work and I've got nothing to take in with me. Fine. I know I'm going to have my meal prep for lunch. Fine. I know when I finish work, I'm going to need to cook that mince that's in the fridge. Fine. My meals are already laid out before me, before I even woke up this morning, to be honest. And today's a busy day. Started at 6:30. I'm recording this now at 4:30 in the evening. I've had half an hour for my lunch break, that's all. Days are busy, days are full. And so if you foresee these busy days, you need to be proactively thinking, where are my meals coming from? What am I going to do? I'm not cooking breakfast at 5:30 in the morning. Absolutely no chance I'll be cooking anything at 5:30 in the morning. If I've prepped my chicken sausages, they'll get it, freezing cold. But if I haven't, that means I've got to run the shop and get what I need to get. We need to be thinking proactively. You need to be thinking forward. If your life is busy, you need to plan ahead. You can't afford to wing it. If this was a busy week and it was sprung upon you, then sometimes it's not the fact that the week is busy, it's that you got overwhelmed. And when we're overwhelmed, we don't make good choices. So we can be like panicking through the day. Oh, I've got this deadline, I've got this meeting, and this dickhead's just booked in a meeting with me, and blah. And instead of just taking a breath and being like, okay, today's looking manic, I'm going to stop at the Sainsbury's on the way into the office, and I'm going to get me breakfast, and I'm going to get me lunch, and do you know what? I'm going to pick up a ready meal for me dinner, because I know I'm going to be working until 9 p.m. tonight. That trip would have took you 10-15 minutes, or even easier if you work from home. Order an Uber Eats delivery, Morrison's, Asda, whatever. They get delivered to your door, girls. I actually can't accept being too busy anymore as an excuse, because we live in the most convenient time as that has ever existed. And okay, there's kids clubs, there's parties, there's work, there's housework, and we do have to drop some balls. Like last week, the ball that I dropped, it wasn't work, and it wasn't my nutrition, and it wasn't my training, but I was completely overwhelmed. Basically, just because mood-wise, like I was due on, I was feeling tired, and I still ate well, I still trained, I still worked, but the ball that I dropped was the housework. I lived in mess until it got to the weekend where I could sort my shit. And sometimes that's the ball that I prefer to drop. I'm not going to drop the food ball because I know that makes me feel worse. I can just shut the door on the mess and go to bed. I know not everyone's brain works that way, but I can't shut the door on work. I've got a business to run and a team to look after and clients to serve. I can't drop the ball on my food, because that only makes my mood, my energy, and everything else worse. I can't drop the ball on my training, because I'm leading by example, and I know training makes me feel good. And when my mood is low and I know I'm coming on and I feel like I want to scream at someone, training is the thing that helps me release that. So the ball that I dropped was the washing, was the housework. And so it's like, it's okay to drop a ball, but can you drop the least important ball? Like, it's okay that your house gets a bit messy one day, it's okay, but it's probably not a good idea to drop that nutrition ball, especially if it's a fragile one and you struggle to pick up your healthy eating habits again. I do think that if you really looked back critically, like if you looked back, not making any excuses, if you were like really, really honest with yourself and look back at last week, I want you to think, could you have done better? And I imagine your response would be, yeah, I think I could have. Okay, what exactly could you have done better? Did you need to do a weekly food shop? Did you need to do a bit of planning? Did you need to do a little bit of calmness and be logical in the chaos? Even when life is chaotic and even when life is busy, you can sit there and take 5 deep breaths and make the best decision before you. Even if you needed to go and get a takeaway, you don't need to order the whole menu. You can order something sensible if that was your last resort. If you're driving home from a late day at work and you're driving past an Asda, a Morrison's or a Marks's, but you chose to go to the KFC, you made that choice. There was another option, you just didn't take it. And so you can always do better. And so there is always a positive option there. It wasn't that you were too busy. It was that you were either overwhelmed or you were poorly planning and you just let the week take over your mind. And in that case, this is more about regulating yourself. You need to take a breath and you need to make the most logical choice. You need to take a breath and make the choice that's going to serve you better. You need to drop a ball, but not a ball from your health. You need to drop another ball, like the washing. Or maybe you need to lean on your support system. If you've got kids, ask their dad to come and pick them up. If their dad's not around, ask someone else, a friend, family member. Use your village. If it's work and they're overloading you, set your fucking boundaries. Build them like a brick wall. I own my own business and I have a brilliant team and I love my clients. I am obsessed with every single one of you, but I've got boundaries. If you're messaging me at 9 p.m, I'm not messaging you back. That's a boundary that I'm firm with. If it's a weekend, you might not get a reply because I have boundaries. And if my team, the same thing, it's You have to have boundaries. If they're demanding a lot of me, I'll be like, okay, I will do that thing, but I need to do this first. Or let me just have my lunch and then we'll talk about it. Like, have boundaries. They are so important. So I've given you a few solutions there, but what I really want you to do is reflect. Look back on last week. You're not proud of it. I want you to write down in your notes, or feel free and write it a message to me for a bit of accountability, and write down exactly what you would have done differently. If you could repeat last week from start to finish, what exactly would you have done differently? Would it have been the weekly food shop? Would it have been calming the chaos? Would it have been boundaries with work or friends? Or would it have been leaning on your support system? Whatever the fuck it was, whatever it was, write it all down like word vomit and read it over again and learn from it. Because it's fine that this week went a little bit to shit, but it's not fine if it keeps happening. We have to learn from the tough weeks. We have to learn from the things that go wrong. That's the only way we get better. Okay, questions. Okay, last week I went up to 57.5 on barbell back squats. Unreal, by the way. That is so strong. I know how long you've been training. It's not that long. It's a few months. This is a really, really good weight. You've got strength. So keep going. 55 was fine. And then I got stuck at 57.5. I only just made it back up. It's got in my head now and I panic every time I squat. Help. I completely get this, okay? The fear of squats is horrible. And when it's in your head and when a specific weight is in your head, it's definitely a mental fuck, but it is mental. The thing is here, right, you didn't actually fail the 57.5. When you fail a squat, the bar gets dropped on the floor and you land on your ass and you failed the squat. You didn't fail the squat, you stood up. And I know you're saying you only just got back up, but if I'd have videoed that squat, I bet you it would have felt like you were trying to stand up for 20 seconds, but it would have looked like 2 seconds. And I know this just from so many times of videoing my own squats. Even today, I was determined to go back to a weight that I did a while ago. So I put it on the bar and I was like, right, let's go. My last 2 reps felt like forever. They were sticky. They were horrible. I battled through them. I had to grit my teeth. And I felt like it took me 10 seconds to stand up. I'm not messing. Look back on the video and it was like, dude. And it's like, why does that look? I was just going, it looked easy. And I was like, it didn't feel easy. Look back on the video, it did look easy, but it didn't feel it. When you're standing up from a squat, it feels hard. It feels like a struggle because you're battling through. You feel every single millisecond of that movement because it's a struggle. But I bet you in real life, it looked smoother. And so all I want you to do is just get out your head. You did it. You did the 57.5. You stood it up. That means you've got the strength. You stood it up. You didn't fail the squat. You actually did it. Because you're in Lift and Glow, you're very lucky. You've always got a spotter there or multiple spotters there. The coaches, the clients, they'll help you. So I would keep doing this weight. Do not get scared of it. And whoever is in the room, whoever's coaching, get them to spot you, because that little bit of that spot makes it feel easier just psychologically. And then this will soon be an easy weight for you. You'll be repping this out for 6, 7, 8 reps in a few months' time. And so don't give up on it and don't get frustrated. It's part of strength training. Like, we have them really sticky reps. This is how I kind of want to say welcome to lifting weights, because people get scared of the struggle, but this is how it's meant to feel. Like, have you seen them weightlifters who literally do take 10 seconds to stand a squat up, or they like them deadlifts that last like 15 seconds, or it feels like it does, and they're fucking brutal and the person is just grinding through it like that. I mean, I'm not asking you to do that because we're not in powerlifting competition, but lifting weights requires the fight. It requires the struggle, and you'll see the coaches are used to it because they've been doing it for years and years. But this just feels different for you. It feels new to you. You had to fight to get it. That's part of it. Like, you didn't fail. You actually didn't fail the rep. You stood it up, so you didn't fail. So you can do it again. So get out your head and just crack on. This is part of lifting weights. Oh my God, I feel like I'm really uncomfortable in the seat. I can't find a comfortable place to do the podcast anymore. I've got 2 sausage dogs downstairs. There's just no way. They both have to be touching me at all times. So Now I'm awkward and uncomfortable on this seat. Anyway, I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks. I want to know about how to get the best out of an all-inclusive breakfast to set me up for the day. I love this question. All-inclusive breakfast. So you will almost always see some sort of eggs. Okay, so you might have scrambled, you might have someone doing an omelette station, you might have fried eggs on there. I don't know. I would probably fried eggs. I mean, I don't like fried eggs anyway, but they might be really greasy, is what it is. So you are on holiday, so treat yourself to fried eggs if you really want. But almost always you're going to get eggs. If you don't like eggs, I don't either, then I would probably be going for something like your bacon, your sausage, or your yogurt bowl or whatever. So when I'm on holiday, I'll kind of like just see how I feel. But usually my breakfast, I'm trying to be a bit more reserved with the all-inclusive. Way back in the day, like when me and Fran went to our first like all-inclusive holiday, we'd go up once, go up twice, sometimes go up 3 times. It was like a kid in a sweet shop. It's like, oh, it's free. It's not free, is it? And just because it's there doesn't mean you need to make yourself feel sick eating it all. And I got fed up of food very, very quickly. But now I just think, right, it's all inclusive, so I've paid for it, but I haven't paid to make myself feel like shit for 10 days or for 2 weeks. I've paid to make sure that I've got food to nourish myself with. And so when I wake up for breakfast, I'm almost always getting I'm almost always getting yogurt and fruit. I don't worry about the protein in the yogurt because I know it's mainly natural yogurt and it's not like a high protein one. But I'm not worrying about macros when I'm there. I'm just trying to do the best that I can. So I'm almost always getting yogurt and fruit. If I'm not getting that, I'm almost always getting a bit of toast, avocado if they have it in Mexico. They always do. But everywhere else, not really. But I'll get like toast, beans and bacon, or toast, beans and sausage, or maybe toast, beans, 1 sausage, 1 bacon. Depends on the quality of the stuff, really. But yeah, it's almost always something like that, and I'm eating till 80% full. So I'm not getting 3 pieces of toast. I'm not getting 3 sausage, 3 bacon, 3 eggs. Like, I'm not going wild. I'm being reserved, and I'm doing what I can. My breakfast sometimes might be quite healthy, other times it might not be. But it could be a pastry and some fruit, but I'm not mad at that either. If I want to have my yogurt bowl and a little bit of a pastry, then I'll do that. I am on holiday at the end of the day, but I'm constantly thinking eating until 80% full. And I'm constantly thinking, like, if I really fancy that pastry, then I'm going to have it. But I don't need to do that every single day because I'm not going to wake up really desperate for a pastry every single day because I had one yesterday. Like, that kind of wears out quite quickly. So breakfast, yeah, I'd be on the fruit, I'd be on the yogurt. I wouldn't be worrying too much about protein. If you do want cooked breakfast, I would be going for like eggs, toast, beans, bacon, those types of things, and just focus on really moderate portions. 1 plate is all you need, and like a little bit of what you fancy. So I think when we went to Mexico last time, I had one day where I got like waffles, Nutella, and loads of fruit, and that was boss. But I didn't want to eat that every day because it was like, if I'd have had that every day, I'd have been like, oh, sick of this now. But it was like something that I woke up one day, I think I was slightly hungover, and I was like, I'm having you. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't feel bad for it. It's like balance across the whole holiday. Have you got any tips on whether I should do a cut or a diet before my holiday? Holiday's in 2 weeks. Absolutely fucking not. Sorry for the aggression. Because that's what I'm used to doing. I feel like I can eat, drink more then, but then I'm worried about being weak in the gym. I hope this makes sense. If you want to diet for a holiday, the last 2 weeks is absolutely not what I'd be doing. If you want to diet for a holiday, I would be giving yourself at least a 6-week run up. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Like, give yourself time to work towards a holiday if that holiday is a holiday that you want to lose weight for, which is fine to do, by the way. I'm going to go on holiday in September, and I think I'm going to see how I feel at the time, but I might do a little bit of a 6-week diet in the run up to it. That's okay to do. Like, I'm not saying you need to be like constantly happy with yourself. Like, it's okay to prepare for being in a bikini every day. But 2 weeks is not enough. You're going to lose, 2 pounds? And you're also doing it from the wrong mentality. You're thinking, if I diet now, I'll be able to eat more on holiday. Doesn't work like that, sorry. Like, if you lose 2 pounds in the run up to your holiday, those 2 pounds will be regained within 2-3 days if you eat like a dickhead on holiday. And like, it's okay for you to eat like a dickhead on holiday. You're on holiday, but it's more about, we need to think about how we're going to handle holidays in general. If you want to indulge and let loose and go wild, well within your rights to do that, go and do that. But when you come home, don't cry about it. Don't step on the scales. Just get back into your normal routine. Give yourself a couple of weeks in your normal routine and then step on the scales. Or you can go on holiday, still wouldn't step on your scales when you get home, but you can go on holiday and you can be moderate. This is what I do. I have like a nutritious breakfast most days, a moderate lunch most days. So for my lunches, I'm looking at like a sandwich, or I'm looking at like, I'll get maybe potatoes and protein and salad. Again, I'm not going 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plates. I don't need dessert after lunch because I like to drink alcohol. And so I know I'm going to be drinking. I know I'm going to enjoy my meals out. And that's probably where I'm going to have dessert as well at the dinner. So I'm not going to like overdo it for all 3 meals. But so I'll rein in my breakfast and my lunch because that's when I'm prancing around in my bikini and I don't want to feel like a slug. And then in the evening, I'll eat a bit more, drink a bit more, let loose a little bit more. And that's what I tend to do. I'm still going to gain weight probably on that holiday because the total calories I will have consumed will be more than normal. But I'm okay with that on holiday. So no, we are not doing a deficit for 2 weeks so you can eat more on holiday, because it does not work that way. You're going to overeat on holiday really regardless, even if you try and manage it well. So no, I would just stay at maintenance. If you starve yourself for 2 weeks, you're more likely to overeat on holiday. Whereas you stay fueled and stay feeling good, you're not going to be absolutely desperate for every single thing you can fit in your mouth when you get there. Okay, so this is not the right time to be dieting or starting a diet or thinking about a diet for holiday. Oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. My rib. Okay, breakfast inspiration, please. No yogurt, no egg. I miss having a go-to breakfast. Okay, so one of my clients, every single morning, she has bacon medallions and cheese on toast every morning. It gets her 30 grams of protein in every breakfast. Okay, so you could have bacon medallions, avocado, and a bagel thin or a protein bagel. Gorgeous. You could have chicken sausages. Chicken sausages are really good to prep and put in the fridge and then reheat. So prepare your chicken sausages in the air fryer, then they'll do you for a few days. Also think outside the box of breakfast food. Like, you can, when I went to Austin, everyone eats Mexican food for breakfast. Did you know that? Everyone eats breakfast tacos. So they're having like minced beef on tacos. I also often will eat a meal prep at 5:30 in the morning, and that could be anything from beef brisket to salt and pepper chicken. Like, think outside the box. You don't need to have cereal or eggs. It can be anything. Like, plenty of people eat steak for breakfast. Plenty of people eat minced beef. When you go to Thailand, they eat bloody curry for breakfast. You're like, you can eat whatever you want. Okay, cottage cheese on toast, great. Cottage cheese, rice cakes, great. Cottage cheese and jam, if you're fancying something sweet. What else? Yeah, just even like those little muffin things that I spoke about the other day, ham and cheese muffins that you've prepared in the oven. You could do a big bowl of like turkey mince with like onions and peppers and stuff, and you can have them on a wrap with cheese or with bacon. You can have turkey burgers for breakfast, turkey sausages for breakfast. Don't stay in the breakfast box. There's tons of options. In the UK and in Europe particularly, we are so weird about eating breakfast food. When you go to America and when you go to like Thailand or like Mexico or anything like that, there's tons of different things that they eat for breakfast, and it doesn't always need to be porridge or your yogurt or your eggs. So think outside the box. What do you want to eat in the morning? What do you feel like? Okay, I'm thinking of doing the 3 full body sessions rather than the split, but I haven't ever done barbell squats, etc. What do your full body sessions look like? It all depends what program. So we've got full body strong, which is predominantly barbell and dumbbell, and that's predominantly free weights. So you've got your big lifts like your squats, your bench press, and your deadlifts in there, that's the strong program. Lower reps, heavier weight, designed to get you strong. And then you've got the silhouette, which is 3 sessions, but they're not full body. There's 1 full body, 1 upper, and 1 lower. Silhouette is hypertrophy focus, so it's like 8 to 12, 6 to 10 reps, lots of machine work in there, not as many free weight stuff. So there's the info about the programs. You let me know what you want to do. Strong is a great program. That's probably more like what we do at Lift and Glow. It's great. It's really, really good. If you've never done barbell back squats, it doesn't mean you're not capable of doing them. You know, just look at the demo video, watch the setup. I talk through the setup of it. Send me videos, send me your form videos. Like, not enough of you do this. Like, you literally have me at your fingertips. Send me your videos and I will help you with your form. Okay. I've been reading up on omega-3 and 6. I do eat a lot of fish anyway, so I've never really bothered with this supplement, but I'm thinking of adding to it to make a difference to my joint health. Any recommendations on what brand and what to look for? You want to look for like wild fish oils as opposed to like the cheap like omega-3 and omega-6. If I'm honest though, if you eat plenty of fish and you have like seeds and stuff, you might not need to supplement with it. You're saying to your joint health, so what's made you think that you've got poor joint health? Are there other things that you could be doing? Like, do you need to rest more? Do you need to stretch more? Do you need to eat more protein? Why have you come to the conclusion that this is the thing that you need? Often supplements are the sprinkles on the icing on the cake, not part of the main recipe, not like a required thing. Can you get these nutrients from your food instead? And what made you think that you need this? I don't eat any fish. It's criminal, I know. So I do take omega-3s, and I take them, well, I don't take omega-3s, I take a proper wild fish oil. It does give me the fish burps, but it is what it is, I don't care. And mine are from Wild Nutrition. I wouldn't be getting supplements from like Holland and Barrett or just random ones on Amazon. I would look at reputable brands. My way of like checking on supplements, honestly, I just use ChatGPT and I say, I want to take, basically it's helped me build a supplement stack. And the prompt that I give it is, I want to take the highest quality, with the highest bioavailability possible. Recommend what brands I should take. Now, almost always it's Thorne. Thorne are not cheap supplements, but they're not cheap because they're great. And they actually are, it's a lot of athletes and stuff take them, like a lot of dietitians, nutritionists recommend them because they're really high quality. So almost all of my supplements are Thorne, and that's because they have a high bioavailability and they're high quality. Lots of supplements are a bag of shite, and we need to be mindful that we're even taking in the nutrients that we're taking. Now, my supplement stack is fertility, so I'm taking like a Wild Nutrition fertility bundle. So Wild Nutrition are all natural, so it's frozen food, frozen foods. That's where the vitamins come from. It's not like a made, like a false fake supplement, if you get me. So they're natural. And then the Thorne ones, they have high quality ingredients and the high bioavailability. So that's who I use. I would recommend both brands. I enjoy both brands. I trust both brands. But I wouldn't be just getting them from Boots or Amazon or Holland and Barrett, to be honest. ChatGPT is this is the type of thing that you can use AI for, and they can give you a better answer than me. But with you saying there's a huge discrepancy in price, there's often a reason for that. So I pay a lot for my supplements, which is annoying, but it is what it is. I really want to try and get some stretching into my routine. I stretch after a workout, but I don't do general stretching throughout the week. If I wanted to add in a yoga, for example, how do you best recommend doing this? Add a yoga in on any day. And if you're wanting to do it for recovery, look at yin or look for like a restorative yoga. On the Lift and Glow app, we have yoga that you can follow by Francine and Michelle, all gorgeous stretches that you can do. There's upper body focused, hip focused, full body focused. I absolutely love Yoga with Adrian on YouTube. She is absolutely amazing. There's a yoga session for everything. Here's a really easy, beginner friendly. I also love Yoga with Cassandra. Some of hers are a little bit more advanced, but still great. The Down Dog Yoga app is also amazing. So you can do like 10 minutes a day for the Down Dog Yoga app, or you can do like longer sessions, and you can build the session around what you need. So for example, if you had tight shoulders, if you've had a stressful day, if you've got tight hamstrings, you can like put focuses in, and you get to choose the voice and choose the music, and that it's quite cool. I used to use Down Dog all the time, but I wouldn't overthink on how to get yoga in, because it's really low impact, it's really restorative. I wouldn't be doing any power fast vinyasa yoga if you're using it as a way to recover. I would be focused on more the restorative, the yin stuff. But do it on any day that you want. You can do it on a training day, on a rest day. But I would recommend to everyone to do yoga. It's amazing for you. What calories would you suggest for me now? I weighed myself while I was away, which I never really do anymore. I'm happy about my weight, but I'm feeling fluffy about after my hauls. First of all, after any holiday, you're going to have this fluffy feeling. Water retention from the plane, water retention from extra salt, poorer sleep, more alcohol, extra calories, slower digestive system. Like, doesn't matter. Like, just come back home and go back to your normal habits. I genuinely don't think you need a new calorie target. I think what you need to do is stop relying on a calorie target. You've said here you want to build muscle and recomp. So I would be going to your maintenance, which is between, around 2,000, 2,100 calories for you at the moment. So build your meals properly. Think about the 3 high protein meals built around protein, carbs in every meal, fiber and veggies with every meal. 3 high protein meals, 1 to 2 snacks, getting your steps in, getting your training done. Don't overthink. Like, you don't need a new calorie target every few months. We only need every stone of weight that you change, your calorie target adjusts by 100. So calorie targets don't often need adjusting. And so, if you have a couple of kilo adjustment, and your goal is to recomp or just to maintain, build muscle, go back to that maintenance calories. Like, anyway, for someone who just wants to live a healthy, nourished life, any woman, if all women just ate between 1,800 to 2,000 calories, you would feel unreal. Because if you are overweight, eating that amount of calories will help you lose weight. If you are underweight, eating that amount of calories will help you build muscle. And if you are in a healthy body weight, that amount of calories will usually help you maintain that body weight. Like 1,800, depending on how tall you are, 1,800 to 2,200 calories is such a good range. If you're mega active, take it to like 2,400, 2,500. But you're not really going to stray far from that for maintenance. So yeah, really, really small women, very short, very, very slight. Maybe you're going to maintain on like 1,700. But for the majority of women, I would say like 80-90% of women, a really good range just for health and for like even weight loss, like even for just getting to a long-term, a weight that you can long-term maintain. 1,800 to 2,200 is amazing. So even if you are overweight right now and you're happy with slow and steady weight loss, just go to that calorie range. If you want to build muscle right now because you feel, like you want to be leaner, more toned, go to that calorie range and you'll be able to build muscle, potentially lose fat at the same time as well. What are some good filling plant-based protein sources that are easy to prepare? Not sure if it's because I'm on my period, but I feel a bit fed up with meat at the moment and I would happily go without eating any for a week. Okay, how's this? I'm due on my period this week and I'm just a bit fed up of brushing my teeth. I'm due on my period this week and I'm just a bit fed up of getting a shower, so everyone's going to have to deal with my boasting. I'm being stupid, obviously. I just don't care if you don't feel like eating protein, you just eat it anyway. I do not wake up every day excited to eat meat. I don't wake up every day bouncing around ready for my yogurt. Like, I don't, but I just eat it anyway because it's what my body needs, it's what my body deserves, it's what my body thrives off. So yeah, I would like, it doesn't matter if you're not really fancying protein, you just eat it anyway. Good filling plant-based protein sources, minimal. There's minimal. Edamame beans, probably your best ones. Soybeans. Honestly, plant-based protein is not going to get you the amount of protein that you need in a meal, in a whole meal. We need to be eating meat, fish, eggs, dairy to get the protein that we need. And I'm sorry, vegetarians, I am sorry, but it's hard to be healthy as a veggie. Some of the most unhealthy people that I have met have been vegetarians. Some of the people who struggle most with weight loss are vegetarians. And yeah, I'm big on eating meat. I'm big on eating real protein. I'm big on eating real food. There are obviously some plant-based forms of protein, but they almost always have fats and carbs in as well. So like nut butter, tons of fat, little bit of protein. Beans, plenty of fibre, little bit of protein. There's really not that many, like lentils, quinoa, carbs, fibre, protein. They're never just protein. It's really quite challenging to get a fully plant-based high protein meal. Sorry. Okay. When I've tried to correct my form on the overhand barbell row, I get a little painless click in my right shoulder. I would do a little bit of stretching, maybe go for a little massage, see if that helps. It's probably a little bit of tension. Sometimes you do get painless clicking in your body and it can ease over time and it can change over time. But a bit of stretching, a bit of massage might really help this. Okay, my Instagram feed has been full of clips lately about the health benefits of strength training, particularly around reducing the risk of Alzheimer's and other age-related conditions. Is there actually strong evidence based behind these types of claims? The answer to this is yes. There is a lot of evidence and this has been building for years, okay? So there's a number of big scale studies showing how strength training reduces cognitive decline as we age. There's something called BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, basically a protein in your brain that supports the growth and survival of neurons in your brain. Strength training increases BDNF, and so does moderate exercise. So it does, there's a direct correlation between lifting weights, BDNF, and there's a direct correlation between BDNF and like Alzheimer and other age-related things. Also, strength training reduces inflammation on the body, and Alzheimer's is very linked to inflammation. And so there's a close risk there. Like strength training can reduce dementia risk because of the inflammation factor. A lot of the videos that you see like might just be oversimplified, which is why you're asking this question. But they're not lying. They're right. This is something that I constantly talk about. Strength training is literally amazing for anti-aging, not just for your skin, not just for your body, but for your brain as well. And so, yes, there is evidence behind this. Even if you just started researching it, you would see it. Okay, how do all the girls at the gym manage to have no visible knicker line through their leggings? I seem to be the only one squatting around with my granny knickers on full display. Also, I wear Adenola leggings and although they feel tight when I first put them on, I spend my entire workout pulling them up and readjusting them. Am I wearing the wrong size? Is this normal? Okay, so the knicker thing, I've got period knickers, which are granny knickers, but other than that, I do not wear full briefs. So whenever I'm in the gym, I'm always wearing a thong. And I think almost all the girls who don't have a knicker line in the gym are wearing a thong. There is one girl who told me about these Marxies no VPL knickers. So they're a full knicker, but they're a no VPL knicker. And she wears them and you don't see knicker lines for hers. So yeah, we've had this conversation many, many times in the gym. There are some girls who don't wear underwear. That's weird to me. But, let them do what they want to do. If they don't want to wear underwear, that's fine. I'm not that cool with that. And I think if you really looked hard, you'd probably see my thong. Like, you'd be able to see the lining of my thong. The Adenola thing. So Adenola is less of a activewear brand and more of a lifestyle brand, I would say. So performance wise, they look really cute, but performance wise, they're probably like the coaches will wear Adenola and complain about them moving around, but then the coaches will wear like Lululemon or Sweaty Betty or Honor Active, which are made for people that train, and like they are better performance clothing, to be honest. Adenola is a lot more like lifestyle, wearing it to go for coffee, wearing it to go for hot girl walks. They're less of like an actual gym wear brand, I would say, and more of a fashion activewear brand. So yeah, this is completely normal. I think a lot of the girls experience this. The leggings will fit, but they slip around a lot just because of how they're built. So you might just want to try a different brand for your training stuff and leave your Adenola for you're going out. Okay, girls, that is all the questions. There was so much covered. I hope you found that helpful. As always, please rate, review, comment, share, do whatever you need to do to help get this podcast into the hands of more women who need our help. If you want to join the community, click the link in the show notes. You can join us on the app, so you can join the online community, and we have a wait list for the gym. So click the link to find out more about both of those. Have a great week. Bye.